If you've ever dreamed of turning your ideas into a webtoon, you've probably wondered, where do I even start? There's so many different platforms, so many different ways of approaching creating a webtoon, posting it, getting engagement, building a fan base, that it can be a little bit overwhelming. Well, in today's video, we're going to dive into the different options available for creating your own webtoon, whether you're a newbie or a seasoned artist. From the best platforms to monetize your comic to tools that help you streamline workflow, we've got it all covered in this video. So whether you're looking to self-publish or to collaborate with an established platform, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. So grab your sketchbooks, grab your notes, grab whatever you need as we dive into the wonderful, crazy, and very stressful world of webtoons. So with that, I always like to remind people that everything that's said in this video is my opinion. So, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Although I do research for these videos, I look up different topics, then I feel like, do your own research, be wise, make smart decisions, and do what you deem to be the most important. I am just another perspective that can add to your overall viewpoint of things and possibly help you to understand how to move forward in whatever decisions you decide to make. So with that, a lot of people are here because of the Webtoon contest. I feel like a lot of people put all of their eggs into that basket and kind of thought like, okay, this is my chance. Webtoons will pick me up. And there was I shouldn't say no, but I don't think a lot of people were focusing on what they would do next if they did not get shortlisted. So these are some options that I thought would be important to discuss just very briefly. Is determining how you want to move forward and what you want to build, I think would be the most beneficial, and whether an opportunity arises that is different from what you're planning or whatever you're doing, just being open to that is super, super important. So I feel like, number one, a lot of people want to work with a company. So it's important to understand, if you're wanting to work with a company, who is the company you want to work with? What are they posting? What's trending on their platform? What does it seem like they're looking for? What series are they greenlighting, or series are they releasing? Like, all of that is super important, and it involves a lot of work on a creator's part. But having this information benefits you in moving forward and making strategic moves to work with said company. Next, looking at free hosting platforms. So these are your platforms where you don't have any of the background work that involves like having your own website. So basically you just create and then you post on the platform. Now, the one benefit that I think is the largest looming area here is the fact that a lot of these platforms, whether it's small or big, already have an audience built into them, so you can take advantage of that. So the thing with free platforms is it gives you a lot of creative control, because basically they're just a hosting site. And if you can keep in mind that you're just using them to benefit yourself, just like they're using you for content, then I feel like that's a good approach to have and something to consider. Next, do you want to make your own website? So making a website, there is a lot, and I do mean a lot of stuff involved. So take into consideration the benefits, the pros, the cons of having your own website, having full creative control of how the your readers interact with what you're creating, what you're building. Being able to customize everything specifically the way that you want. A lot of the free hosting platforms, you can only post the way they want you to. So like, for example, with Webtoons, Canvas creators cannot post episodes along with music. They're limited to a file size. On your own website, you don't have any of that. Next, do you want to continue to make the story that you're making? So this is something that I think is super interesting. For me, when I entered the contest, I had no intention necessarily of continuing the story I was working on. It was literally just for fun and for the vibes. So the fact that I pulled through onto the other side and I really enjoyed making it is something that I will take away from the contest, that I feel is 10 times more beneficial than anything, but we're not here to talk about me. So, do you want to take a break from the series that you're working on? Was the series too ambitious? Do you need to set aside time to practice? Like, what are you lacking that maybe a company or maybe readers would like to see improve from you? Is it art style? Is it writing? Are you not taking advantage of using tropes? Are you not taking advantage of character design? Like, there are so many things. So then I would say while you're practicing, obviously this goes hand in hand with studying. So what are you studying? Are you studying how to be a better business person? So this could be marketing, this could be social media, this could be story, this could be art. Like, all of that is super important in determining what area you want to improve in. And then the last thing that you can do is take a break. So for me, I actually have been taking a bit of a break from a lot of things. Not always by choice, but some of it is just, it is what it is. But do you need a break? Like, that is something very logical to consider before moving forward. And I know if you're watching this like 2 years from now, you're gonna be like, oh my God, why are we talking about taking a break? Taking a break is really important when you've been on the grind. Like, whether it's recovering from a contest, whether it's from putting yourself out there year after year and not seeing any results, sometimes you just need to take a break, refresh, recharge, and come back to stuff with a fresh set of eyes. So I would never not discourage anyone from taking a break. So if that is something you need, do not underestimate that. Whether it's a week, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's a month, it doesn't matter. Take what you need. Sometimes we just need a little bit of time to recharge our batteries, to come back full force so that we can actually create. Like, creation takes a lot out of you. Like, essentially you're giving up pieces of yourself, giving up vulnerability, giving up like there's so much involved in creating stories and art that I just think people underestimate the fact that taking a break is important. Originals take breaks, mangakas, professionals take breaks. Like, this is very important. Like, nothing is worth your mental health or your physical health, in my opinion. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, I'm sorry I rambled so long, but let's talk about free platforms. I feel like this is what everybody kind of came for, and this is kind of what you want to talk about. So let me know right now, like, what platforms are you posting on? What has your experience been like? Do you enjoy these platforms? Do you hate them? Do you wish that they would just pick you up because you're super talented? Well, let me talk about the very basics of why you should be taking advantage of multiple free platforms. It's going to involve a bit of work, but in my opinion, it is extremely worth it to look at this from a business perspective and think about the fact that if this was your own website, you would be paying for it. like plain and simple. So, let me say hello to a few people that have just joined. Hi, Subsam Jam. Hello. Lotus, hello. Raccoon, hello. Ba, hello. It's no problem, Ba, that you can't stay for the stream. Completely understand. Hi, Curie. Okay, so getting back to this. So when we look at free platforms, obviously the ones that kind of pop into our minds are Webtoon, Tapus, GlobalComix, etc. And all of these allow creators to publish their webtoons without paying fees or having a high startup cost. So I have not fully looked into creating a website, but I do know it is a bit of an investment, whether it is a one-time fee or a monthly fee, I could not elaborate on. Maybe that's something I'll do in the future, a little bit of research about why you should, fully investigate in creating your own platform to build and grow on. So many of these platforms, they do come in with a built-in audience that you can take advantage of. Whereas with a website, you have to bring the traffic to it. I mean, you have to do it with a free platform as well, but there is the possibility that it could, organically, inorganically, I don't know, blow up on its own. Now, free platforms, one of the downsides, in my opinion, that I just felt like I needed to put out there is you earn little money, but also, if you're posting it on your own website, are you earning money? Like, maybe you're earning a little bit of ad revenue, but I would think that it would be similar-ish. So it's a catch-22 sort of situation. I do think that one of the things that is super important about posting on the free side of things is that you have less restraints than if you were working directly with a corporation. Like, the corporation might enforce its ideals upon you that do not match your vision of your story. Now, some free platforms are a little bit different. They're more restrictive than others. But all in all, my point about this is if you're posting on the free side of things, the only downside to this restriction is how restrictive they are. So if you can find a platform that matches your vibe in terms of like how mature you want to get, if you know what I'm saying, then I feel like it's a win-win situation and you can just build and grow from there. Now, these that I mentioned above are not all of the free platforms, but I wanted to go through just a few to really focus in on what platforms I think you should at least be considering and looking at. So let's go ahead and look at our first platform, Tapus. Now, many of you know Tapus already. Many of you are very familiar with Tapus. I feel like Tapus is probably one of the obvious competitors to Webtoons in the current landscape of webcomics in the US especially. So maybe in general, I don't know. I don't know globally like where they stand. But speaking of the US, I feel like when you think of webcomics and you think of Webtoons, like Tapus is one of the platforms that is very apparent. So one of the great things about Tapus, obviously, is you can post on there for free. They do have a built-in audience, and you might argue the audience is not as big as Webtoons. Okay, Webtoons is the leader. So, we're going to have to think about this in terms of, and I'm going to repeat this throughout multiple platforms, but we're going to have to think about this in terms of Webtoons also had a small audience at one time. Like, are you a number one success on Webtoon Canvas? Are you being featured? Are you being shared? All of that stuff. Unless you already have the built-in audience on a particular platform, I feel like why not risk it and try it on a smaller platform and see what happens. Plenty of platforms have to start somewhere. And we are the only ones that can make a platform grow or not. And what I mean by this is if nobody is going to ever not post on Webtoon Canvas or post on Tapus, like if those are the only two options, these other platforms that are appearing that maybe have better features, maybe coincide better with a reader's vision, they will not be able to flourish unless people try them out. So it just is what it is. Maybe you want to put less time into them because it is a smaller built-in audience. So maybe you schedule it and forget it and move on. But it is what it is. Now, I kind of kept this on every slide, but they do have different features. Each platform does. From what I understand, Tapus has one of the better interfaces for creators. I'm not fully sure. Like, I'm not a very interface person because I'm stupid. Like, I'm sorry, technology is like not my best friend. It's one of those things where I feel like it's hard for me to discuss like analytics and data and interface when interface does not bother me until it bothers me. So from what I've seen and what I fiddled around with, the interface is decent. It seemed easy enough to use. They do have analytics. They have content scheduling. They do have ad revenue and tipping that are all accessible to creators. So I think that is a great feature. One of the big things that I think that is very important to anybody who's posting on Tapus is that you can become featured. You can become a Tapus original, join that program. So this would allow you to become a Webtoon creator full time. So it's one of those things where I feel like you have to be open to possibilities, because if you never post on Tapus, unless Tapus reaches out to you directly, then you may never get anything out of them. Like, and they could have been the platform that boosted you to become an original, become a professional, a full-time creator. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, you have to be strategic about your investment for where you're posting. And Grace said sometimes Sometimes a smaller but dedicated readership is better than a huge audience that is only passively reading your story. I agree with this. Like that's the thing too. Like you can kind of tell by comments sometimes, in my opinion, like if the readers are actually engaged in the story or if the readers are just commenting because something fun happened in the story. It's very hard to tell, but it's one of those things that as you read more comments, you can tell like people who are just leaving comments to comment, or you can tell people who are there to like actually support your comic. So I'm all for a niche fan base, to be honest. Like, I feel like building a strong community around the platform, around your story, benefits you more in the long run than people realize. So maybe you only get 50 readers on Tapus, but maybe these 50 readers are the people that are going to support your Patreon, that are going to support your Kickstarter, that are going to support your other projects in the future. So I would say never underestimate like being in a smaller community. You said, I'd say you're tech savvy. Just need a tech upgrade. I'm trying my best. I do need a tech upgrade though. We're so close. I've almost got the money on Patreon, like to buy the laptop that I want. Like that is what I'm going to use the Patreon money for. So the upgrade is coming, guys. Rosu said, I have a love-hate relationship with Tapus. The UI is better, and they're better for LGBT content and 17 plus content, but the numbers aren't there yet. So I personally feel like the numbers, like that's what I was saying. Like if we really are focusing on numbers, like numbers are important to an extent, but like having big numbers doesn't mean that that's converting to a career or money for you. Like, for example, you could have like thousands, let's say 100K plus followers on Instagram or Twitter or something. That may not be converting to revenue that you can live off of to be a full-time creator. So you have to be strategic about what you're doing, especially in the beginning. Like, you're not losing anything by posting scheduled content on Tapus. Also, they do have lists that I thought were pretty important to mention. So like you can find stuff a little bit more easily. The community there, the readers, it's like Tapus community or something. You can add your series to stuff like that, and people can find your stuff that way, which makes it a little bit easier to get more exposure in my opinion. But long story short, you could always post a few episodes on these platforms and then say updates are on wherever you want to take them to. Like if you would like to read ahead, you can find these episodes, more episodes on my Patreon or more episodes on my Ko-fi or something like that. Like it all just depends. So I'm just putting things out there. All right, let's look at our next platform, Namikame. Starlight Rim, did I miss a lot? No, not yet. We're just getting started. So we just covered Tapus. We've got a few more platforms to go through. Hi, Daniela. Chloe said, I prefer reading on Tapus when possible. Yeah, the reader experience, I think, is way better on Tapus in my in my humble opinion. Rena said, remember y'all that the YouTubers that were on the platform when it was not that big are the ones that made it the most ease. Tapus is a good investment in my opinion. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like some of these things where people just gave it a shot, their fan base is loyal to them. Like they may not have the best content, they may not have the most exciting content, the most interesting content, but because they've been around for so long, because they were one of the OG creators, it's pretty interesting to see like how successful they are now. And like with some of these smaller, more niche webtoon platforms, it's not going to hurt you to schedule content on their page. Like I'm sure the creators of it would happily, like if I had a big enough following, I would definitely be posting on these smaller platforms just for networking purposes. Like, I would hope that the creators, the big wigs of the platform be like, yes, we are so grateful to you who brought your 100K following over to my platform. Like, what else can I do for you? Like, that is so the vibe. I feel like YouTube caters to a lot of its bigger creators, so I think that is a very nice parallel. And it just shows you how valuable you could be to these more niche platforms. Tina said, it's hard to see which platforms are worth investing in, especially for creators with small audience. Going where the readers already are sounds like a good starting place. I don't disagree with you, but also, just because you go where the readers are does not mean that they're going to read your series. So that's why I'm like, you need to look at these platforms and determine, like, strategically which one makes the most sense for you to post on. Like, I'm not against you posting on multiple sites. It's going to be a bit of a chore. But also in the long run, it's so beneficial to branch yourself out beyond just one platform. Like, there are some people who have been posting on Canvas for years that don't even have 1,000 followers. So that's why I'm like, yes, there's readers there, but also just because there's readers there, that doesn't mean that you're going to get a following. Like, if that was the case, everybody would have a following that's been posting on Canvas or, Tapus or any of these platforms that were there before. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you have less than 10,000 followers on your Webtoon, then I don't see why you would limit yourself to only one platform. Like, I would keep trying to grow everywhere, in my opinion. And especially if you're a part of a team, like, y'all can, switch between who's doing the uploading for which platforms and whatnot. Like it just makes sense, in my opinion. All right, let's go back to this. So Namikame is still pretty new. If you would like a more in-depth kind of discussion about how the platform works, I did an interview with the CEO of the platform, and super nice, super chill guy. But long story short, we basically went through like a lot of the features and a lot of the benefits of posting on Namikame, so you can get a full breakdown of that. It is on my channel. But they are a smaller platform, so that means they have a smaller audience, but you can also look at it in the sense of that means less competition. And here's the thing about competition. Canvas has thousands of, I don't know, there could be over 100,000 on Canvas. Like, I have no clue. Like, I would love to know the numbers of how many series are on Canvas, but there's tons of competition, tons. So Webtoon Canvas to me feels like you can be posting into the void. So it's kind of like, am I making my blows count by only posting on this platform and not growing at all? Like, if you're growing, I say stick to what you're doing, but also you can diversify your platform. Like, you can diversify where you're posting. Like, it just makes sense. Like, you're not in an exclusivity deal with Webtoons. Like, do what you think makes the most sense. So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, where I was saying, like, publishing earlier could give you the best chance for growth, because, like, as the platform grows, you grow. And if you're a popular series, then I feel like it just makes sense that these smaller platforms are going to want to keep promoting those popular series that are bringing in readers to their platform. Because from a business perspective, if you are a contractor on my platform posting and more people seem to be interested in the product that you're offering, I'm going to want to keep featuring you, because every time I feature you, we get 100 new people to sign up. We get 20 people to sign up. Like, that is very beneficial to a small platform. Like, do not underestimate bringing in people to another platform. Like, the owners will love that. Like, imagine if you single-handedly brought over like 100,000 followers to one of these smaller platforms, do you not think that platform would be like contacting you, asking you like, what do you want? What do you need? Like, how could we serve you? Like, thank you so much. Like all of that stuff. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, don't underestimate the power that you have and these potential opportunities. It's one of those things where it's like, it could be really successful, it could not be successful. So that's why I'm like, you have to determine what makes the most sense in terms of where you're placing all of your eggs. So yeah, the logical choice might be to post on a platform that has everything already, but that doesn't mean that you're ever going to get picked by said platform. May said, if you're going to branch out of Webtoon/Webtoon Canvas, this time is a good time because a lot of people are complaining about Webtoon's UI and updates to the point they are starting to move to other platforms. I could totally see this. Bat and a Bird Bath said, I love Namikame. Subsam Jam said, Namikame is pretty recent discovery for me. I've been reading comics on it for the past few weeks. Def want to start posting there. Right. So thinking about this, speaking of like wanting to post there, I have, gotten to a little bit more experience with Namikame in terms of how creator focused they are. Like the platform is very prime to make creators want to post on it. I feel that it is probably in the top 2 of creator experience. Like, I just say that in terms of, I feel like it really streamlines a lot of stuff for creators. It kind of combines like posting your Webtoon and Patreon and social media for your Webtoon all into one, which is amazing to an extent. So I feel like if more creators posted on it, more creators would love it, but also it's still building up the fan base. Now, I do think, with all of these creator focused features, it makes things really easy for you to organize how you want to portray your series. Like you can give behind the scenes, you can give sneak peeks, you can give, access to Webtoons later. So they have like monetization kind of right off the bat. You can do kind of like how some of these paid platforms do, where you get the first 3 episodes and then you have to pay for every episode after that. Very, beneficial for creators who want to make money, who are trying to make money. And then you can set the pricing. So there's a lot of flexibility and a lot of very beneficial reasons from a creator standpoint to post on there. So like I said, you might decide a strategy could be to post ahead on Namikame. So like on Webtoons, you could have at the end of your episode, I don't know if this would break TOS with Webtoons or not. That would be something you'd have to look up, but you could have at the end of your episode to read further ahead, unlock episodes on Namikame. Like that would be a really good feature, in my opinion, or way to push people over to Namikame that want to read ahead. Like people do fast pass on Webtoons. So it's one of the things where I feel like you have to think strategically. Like, don't necessarily give up on one platform, but also if you're not getting the benefits that you want from one platform, maybe diversify the portfolio a bit. So all in all, I will also say this, the Namikame Discord I'm a part of, and they are constantly giving updates about what they're doing in it. You can talk to their team directly, so you can get a lot of your specific questions answered. I do, however, think that you do want to be careful about... Sorry, I got a message. You want to be careful about how much you invest into a smaller platform. So, your expectations have to be managed. So if you're posting on there for a while and then you find out like, hey, my comic is not growing on here, this is not the investment that I thought it would be, you have to go in with that sort of mindset so that you don't end up overly disappointed when you're posting on these smaller Webtoons. Are you? Why would you want to know the message? Like, that's not important. It's from work. Hi, Pollo. Rena said, my dream audience is other creators, so it sounds like heaven. I'm going to say this about other creators. Other creators, I feel, judge series more harshly than readers do. Like, other creators will rip your stuff apart. So, I mean, if that's your vibe, like, go off. Okay, let's talk about Urai. So Urai is another platform that I managed to score an interview with. Oh my good grief. Like, what is going on? Hold on. I'm now getting a phone call. Okay. Urai is another platform that I did an interview with. It's one of the things where I stumbled into this opportunity, but the creator is super awesome. Like, check out that interview, watch it. It will go into detail. He really talks about like why he's creating the platform and his goals for the future. And this is a platform that I would say has a even smaller audience than Namikame currently. So you have to go in with that mindset. But just remember that just one of you could have the potential to really blow up this platform. I'm just saying, like, you never know. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some of the things that I thought were really interesting because Urai kind of focuses on both the creator experience as well as the reader experience. And what I like about this is the owner, the CEO, whatever you want to call him, he is a reader himself. So I feel like this is reflected in how the readers are able to have a really good experience on the platform. So he focuses on readers being able to customize their experience through tags and filters. So this makes it really easy for people to find specific series or specific type of series that they are looking for. So like, say for example, you are a Naruto fan, maybe you want a ninja type story. Like, you could type in ninja and find it from there. I don't know what all the tags are. I'm just using that as an example. So you can really help optimize discoverability for your fan base through the actual tags. So that's one of the things where I feel like this could actually be really beneficial in the future, because for some reason, a lot of these platforms do not want to use tags at all. It's really weird. So glad you're bringing up a new platform, because recently I've been changing my mind on posting on Webtoons. I'll have to check these out. Yeah, definitely check them out for sure. Daniela said, I didn't know there were so many different platforms. There's tons of platforms. Urai is another platform that you can post on for free. I don't think I mentioned that. But all of the platforms I'm going over, if this was not clear, are all platforms you can post on for free. May said, I tried Urai, but when I uploaded an episode, there was some pages that glitched out, and to this day, still having that issue. Since it's a niche platform, I can't seem to figure out how to fix it. You can message the Urai creator directly. Hit him up on Instagram or in his Discord, and he will personally look into it for you. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're having issues, like, these smaller platforms are so much more accessible right now, and they're willing to cater more so to creators that are willing to post on their platforms, because they need creators to keep posting. So I'm just saying, like, make sure to, if you're having issues, before you abandon the platform, just reach out to the creators, Instagram, Discord, whatever way that you need to, and see if they will fix it. If they don't fix it in a reasonable time, don't waste your time. But they have to understand that creators are giving them a shot and taking a chance on them. So I think it's only fair that creators also give them a shot to fix any issues that they come up with. They are not like a big companies with thousands of people, hundreds of people working in IT to fix issues. So just keep that in mind. And from what I understand, Urai is ran by one person. Like he's kind of doing everything. Another thing that's interesting about Urai, I don't know how I personally feel about this, but as far as for people who want to post, there's no public metrics. So no ratings, no views, no what else is it? I can't think of what else you would have, but none of that is displayed. So Urai does not display statistics on your series page, allowing you to focus on creating without the pressure of likes or follower counts. Oh, followers. So that's really interesting because it kind of makes it that if someone decides to click on your series to read further, they can't just look at numbers to be like, oh, 100,000 people have read this, so maybe it's pretty good. They're literally just picking it off of cover and description. So I think that is something that if somebody who is maybe a little more shy or feeling that they can't handle the rejection of seeing those public numbers, then they can kind of focus on just posting the series and creating what they want. Also, Urai comes in a lot of different languages, so it's a multilingual platform. So if you are interested in posting in those different languages or finding an audience in those different languages, this could be the start of a platform that focuses on those niche areas in Webtoons. So I wasn't sure how I felt about adding this as one of the pros for Urai, but I felt like maybe there's some people out there that would love to have a place to post their comic in a different language or post their comic in a different language that has a smaller space. So just if that sounds good to you, definitely check it out. And then there are monetization options already that are available on Urai. So all of the platforms that are listed have some sort of monetization features. So, I feel like diversifying your platform, focusing on having multiple revenue streams, like if these platforms all blow up and they all have different people on them and you're posting your comic, like just making money off of it, that's amazing, to be honest. Like, it makes me think about the idea of like in the publishing industry for physical books. Like you'll have people that buy books at Walmart, you'll have people that buy books at Barnes and Noble, people that buy books at Target, but nobody in the publishing industry is like, they do exclusives, but nobody in the industry is strictly just like, let's only send books to this one store only. Like most of the time, they're going to send it to multiple different places so that they can rake in the most revenue to optimize that book. So just think of it that way. Like you're trying to optimize whether, whatever you want it to be, whether it's audience, money, likes, views, growing your social media, whatever. Just don't think that these other platforms do not have any sort of value. And then they do have a pretty good interface. So that is something that we kind of all have talked about in all of the other ones. One thing that I like about this, unless it has changed, is Urai is completely ad-free environment, and ads are so annoying. Like it drives me crazy, to be honest. Like it's one of the things that really I think hinders the reading flow for things. Sometimes it doesn't completely like make me want to stop reading, but I do like the idea that I can read without being constantly interrupted to watch an ad. Winter said, are you going to post on other sites soon or wait till September when Webtoons announce winners? Are you asking me or are you asking, okay, somebody, you're talking to Starlit. Okay. All right, so let's talk about VoiceMe. I struggled to post anything about them because VoiceMe has a lot of controversy. Just be aware of the fact that they do have things going on with them that people might not be in favor of. So I'm going to briefly highlight the most controversial is that they do use AI for stuff. So with that being said, just I have articles linked here that will be linked in the description, so if you want to read them yourselves, but I'm just going to read some of the excerpts from them so that y'all can see what's going on here. So VoiceMe leverages ethical AI to help creators streamline their creation process, enabling millions of fans to easily create and share their own artwork. All right, I have nothing else to say. So their strategic partnerships. This was pretty interesting in terms from the business perspective, but in the industry, VoiceMe has appointed executives with experience at major companies like Webtoons, Netflix, Viz Media, and bringing valuable expertise to the platform. So like people in the industry, according to this article in the Business Wire, are working with VoiceMe. And this is something that I keep saying to people is like the AI stuff is more of a creator issue than it is a business or reader issue. Like I personally don't think readers really care about AI. And I'm sorry to say it. I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, readers do care. Yeah, maybe some of them, but overall, a lot of them don't care. I'm sorry to say it. Like they're just here to read a good story and enjoy good art. But I'm just putting it out there so that you know if you do and go looking, like this is something that some of the things that you will find, and this is something that they actively promote on their socials. So I'm trying to be very respectful to the platform because it is what it is. All right, and their last thing, this is also from Outer Haven. It says the platform is set to reach general availability in 2025 with plans to introduce anime streaming and other features, further enhancing its offerings for creators and readers alike. So I will say this, that with all of this in mind, you know, they could be a potential streaming platform in the future for Webtoons and Webcomics. We're just gonna have to see what happens. But you know, if they are making partnerships with companies like Netflix, Webtoons, Viz Media, like they might end up becoming a bigger player in the game of things than we can foresee at this time. But you can post on there for free. They do offer that, and they do have a originals or featured program. So a very notable creator that has come from VoiceMe was Brendan Chen. He is a YouTuber on here. He is now has like 3 or 4 series on Webtoons as originals, and he got his start on VoiceMe. So you know, take that as you want to take it. From what I understood, he never used AI or any of that stuff, but my point is that they could be a viable source for you to get your foot in the door in the industry. This is a very business video, so this is why I'm like, you've got to do your research, you've got to think about it, you've got to understand, you know, what you're doing. None of these, I'm sure all of these companies have skeletons, have things that they have done that have not been the greatest. So you're working with a corporation. Corporations are not known for being that great because they're focused on making money. May said, I was like, I never heard this. Then I heard AI and I was like, oh, that's why. So before the AI stuff, I don't know how fully involved they are with the AI stuff. I do see them posting about it, like fun things you can do. I'm air quoting, with the AI, but they do have some respectable creators on their platform besides like Brandon Chen that are like full-time artists that are, you know, really doing the thing. So I would say don't discredit them, like research them, see, like a company can be more than one thing. If you guys did not know this, Webtoons uses AI. Like if you look at their package, like I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, AI. Listen, they are just more transparent about the fact that they use AI because they don't view it as something wrong. Webtoons uses AI. Webtoons has originals that use AI. If you look at one of the packages that they submitted to the SEC, it talks about their use of AI. It talks about creating software to allow originals to create Webtoons faster. Currently, there are Webtoon originals that use AI. Like this is what I'm saying. Like people are kind of like quick to dismiss things, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you want to work in this industry, I don't think it's going away. So you're going to have to strategically determine, if you're not going to work with any publisher that is using AI, then you may not be working with any publishers, period. So take that as you want to take it. So let's talk about GlobalComix now. Curry said, sadly, yeah, as long as the story is out there, most people won't check if it's fully human made. Very, very unfortunate. Yeah, there are a lot of unfortunate things. Andy says, oh, how that truth stings. I mean, it is what it is. RU said, I know a woman who makes a living generating AI novels. That is becoming a very annoying business. Vero said, oh, we're aware. Boils down to what is legal when it comes to AI. Exactly. So until there is a more clear violation of how people use AI legally, companies are going to use them however they see fit. Okay, so my experience with GlobalComix is extremely limited. GlobalComix, if you're out there and would like to come on the pod, then I would love to get a chance to talk to you guys about, how you're expanding your company. So if you're a GlobalComix person, like, hit me up, please. Okay, so this is something that I thought was super, super cool with GlobalComix from my research. They have a more interactive reading mode, which allows the reader to kind of read the way they want to read. So you can read it like you normally would a webtoon. You could read it like you would a traditional published comic, or you can read panel by panel. And as somebody who's an idiot, like, reading panel by panel in traditional type webtoons or webcomics, whatever you want to call them, would be so beneficial, because I am dumb as a sack of rocks. So it's one of those things where I'm just like, I get so easily confused going from one panel to the next, and I overthink, like, is this the next panel? Is that the next panel? So I love this feature from a reader perspective. Like, you cannot imagine how many times I would read a speech bubble at the wrong time because I thought it was the next speech bubble. So, I mean, I've kind of figured it out from there, but it is what it is. So I really love that from a reader perspective. I think that's probably one of the greatest features that you could do on a platform is allow me to read a little more easily. So detailed analytics. I from what I understand, they Namikame and GlobalComix have some of the best analytics in terms of being able to figure out, like, more specific things about how your series is growing. So I think that is always beneficial, amazing. And then they're doing some really cool partnerships. They're partnering with DC, Image Comics, Dark Horse. And so I feel like that's giving them a lot of credibility, especially in the US, because DC, Marvel, those type of places over here have a lot of street cred, have a lot of viability. So if you like, oh, I used to be a Marvel artist, or I worked at Marvel, I had a series in Dark Horse, like stuff like that, it gives you a level of credibility, I think, that helps. So if DC, Marvel, Image, Dark Horse decide to make GlobalComix their home in the future instead of having their own platform, and you become like a GlobalComix original, I feel like that would give you street cred as well. So I'm thinking, like, this is like 10 years in the future, people. So that's just where I'm at right now. So I feel like from a business perspective, there's a lot of potential to work with GlobalComix, especially if you can become one of their featured comics, or whatever you want to call it, GlobalComix original. Like, that would only be beneficial and open up a lot of doors in terms of networking. They had a very, very interesting breakdown for their monetization. So if you are somebody who cares a lot about transparency in terms of, like, how you'll be making money, how you're going to get the revenue, that sort of thing, then GlobalComix is definitely a place that you need to check out. And I have the breakdowns here on the screen. So the revenue share is kind of what I found, and I tried to simplify this as much as possible. So just understanding that, like, I think that is really cool. They do have multiple incomes on there, so you can monetize your work through various channels. Oh, I forgot to put what they were. So I just off the top of my head. Oh, no, they're down below. So they have the subscriptions, they have a donations feature, and then they have a digital download comic thing. So like you could download the comic as a PDF that you can sell, which is crazy. And then you have control over which content is free and which content is behind a paywall. So similar to what we were talking about with Namikame, where you could have a few episodes free and then they have to pay for the next episodes. So there is a lot of ways to make revenue from this sort of system. And just thinking about this for a second, like let's say you decide to do the digital downloads like this, you can make it like how, you know, with Webtoons, they have, you know, all of the episodes free, but people buy the physical versions of the books. Like I have bought so many Webtoon physical copies because I wanted a copy. And so if you really make the digital download something very special, something very, you know, worth the reader investing more money into, like a special edition of the comic, that could be really beneficial in terms of driving sales. So like I mean, I guess you could. I don't see why anybody would do a digital download of something that they could read for free. So I'm like, if you did go that route, like a special cover art, additional art, a special note, like all that sort of stuff would have to be included for me to want to buy a digital copy of something. So anyway, my long story short is like there are a lot of ways you can get very creative, I think, with how you structure making revenue on their platform. Tina said GlobalComix also seems friendly for stories with more mature themes and art, so that's another option for people who want more spice in their story. Yes, GlobalComix and Namikame both have more tolerance for certain themes, so I would definitely say looking into which of these matches your vibe, maybe both of them match your vibe, would be a place that you could post freely without worrying that the platform is going to take down your episode for breaking its TOS, even if its TOS is not very clear. Oh my god, what are y'all talking about? Hi, Magic Lands. Shout out to Magic Lands. They're amazing. Rena, Apollo, are you going to keep doing Queen's games? If yes, are you thinking of different platforms for yourself? I am actually. Right now, I am working on a short story novel for. It's like a prequel to Queen's Games. So, I haven't decided where I will post that, but as far as the webcomic goes, I probably would continue to post on Webtoon Canvas, but I would also post on other platforms. So I probably would post on those other platforms and only post like 3 episodes on Canvas and then have like the 4th episode say this story is being continued on Namikame or GlobalComix or Tapus or all 5, and you could read more episodes there. Let's see. I'm just trying to go through these comics as quickly as possible. Shark Family said, have you heard anything about a platform called Le Moon? I have heard about it. I stumbled upon it on looking for a slicing app to slice my panels for Webtoons. I have, but I haven't heard anything about them since they kind of launched, so I don't know if they're like where they're at currently. So I kind of wanted to focus on platforms that were more active. Maybe they are active and I was missing it, but from what I've understood is it's kind of stalled at the moment. So like I don't know anything that's going on with them. So maybe I'll pick them back up and research what's happening with them. All right, so let's talk about Webtoons. So Webtoon Canvas. I've kind of been, you know, I wouldn't say belittling them or downing them, but we just have to be very honest about Webtoon Canvas. It is the place where you can get the most exposure. Like it has the most exposure potential. But if your series is not growing and you're just throwing episodes into the void, do we know what the definition of insanity is? Like, come on, people. So I just want to say this. Webtoon Canvas is a great platform in terms of how much they have done for the community. Like, so many people going from, oh, this is a side hustle, this is a hobby, this is something I do in my free time, to being full-time creators now is amazing. Like, and I'm not shanking. I'm not giving credit to Tapus as well. Tapus has originals as well. But I feel like the face of from indie creator to corporate creator or professional creator, whatever you want to call it, is Webtoons. And they allow for you to post on their platform for free, which is crazy. Like here's the thing about this. This would be like if Disney had a place for animators to post on their website. Like that's kind of the vibe. Like Disney is kingpin of animation, if you want to say. Like, you can fight me on this. I don't care. But like here's the thing. If they allowed for people to post their animations on there, their site would be like destroyed. Like, it would never work. It would always be stalling and whatnot, but people would continue to post on there because they are the kingpin. So like, and you know, tons of exposure. Like, there are people that I know were reached out to from that were posting on Webtoon Canvas that entered the contest that other platforms were looking at. Like confirmed, I know for a fact. Like, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say what company, but I'm just going to say that there is a lot of positives for posting on Canvas. So I just want to say, don't underestimate posting on Canvas, even if you feel like you're just throwing your series into the void. And it's global. Like, that's the other thing about it. Like, there are originals that are going from just being English platform to French, to Spanish, to Italian, to German, to so like there's so much potential with posting on Canvas, becoming an original, and then having access to a global fan base. Does this happen with every series? No. And I think that's something that is romanticized in Webtoons, is that once you become an original, that's it. But just because you become an original does not mean you're raking in the dough. It does not mean that you are guaranteed to stay a original, guaranteed that your series will even be allowed to be finished. Like, there are a lot of things that go into being an original that I don't think people consider. I think people just want to make it to being an original, and then that's it. Like, they're like, now I can just post comics and write my story. No, Webtoons is still a business. If your story's not doing good, they're going to cancel it. That's how they remain the kingpin. That's how they remain making kingmakers. That's how they remain being the top dog. Like, Webtoons, I feel like, is more brutal than we'll ever understand. And I'm waiting for the day for someone to break their NDA. I'm waiting. And if you do, please come on the platform and talk. We'll make you anonymous. We'll do a voice disguiser. We'll do all the things. We already don't show our face here. So, like, hey, like, what's tea? Oh my good grief. No, I don't know this app, Benny. The Stella app. Please send it to me. Yeah, Thor Store said Lamoon is super new. Not sure if they're off of beta yet. They were on beta like 2 years ago. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm very curious about this. Does anybody? No, I just read that. Are you said quick fix, make your male lead super tall and that'll fix it. Hey, I mean, I don't disagree. Please. Curie said agree. It's like uploading into the void. It can feel that way. It can. But also, like, I think people also want Webtoons to do all the work for them, and you kind of have to invest in doing a lot of the marketing and bringing the following to your comic yourself. Are you said y'all need to learn my next series? My boyfriend is a giant transforming robot, guaranteed original. I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. Vero said gonna have to experiment with censor/SFW versions of my stuff. Yeah. Webtoons is pretty strict about that. They really want to be family friendly. Like, they want to be Disney so bad. May said, I never thought that other platform looked at Webtoon creators. Yes. I can confirm that people were reached out to that entered the contest from other platforms. So I'm just saying, like, I don't want to reveal too much, but I know at least 5 people that were reached out to by other platforms. Like, can confirm. So you'll have to trust me because I can't say more. Like, see, I'm a good, like, you can trust me. I'm a good, I don't want to say journalist because I'm not a journalist, but I'm a good person to talk to. May said, it's sad to see some originals couldn't keep up with originals demand and was forced to discontinue the series. They can't even continue it anywhere else. It's not just demand. Sometimes it's also your story's not doing well enough numbers wise. Like, you could just get that email where they're like, you have 20 more episodes, wrap this up. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Daniela said, I've heard a few people were reached out to as well. I didn't hear. I talked to some of these people. Like, firsthand told me it happened. Like, I could tell you a few series that are going to be launching pretty soon. So don't be surprised. May said, no, May already said that. Okay. Starlet said, right, they have to wait 3 years till they can post it again. It depends on the contract. So just saying, like, that's why you got to read your contract. Okay. And then I kind of touched on this earlier, like with going back to Webtoons, but being an original does have a lot of benefit to it. Like we were talking about street cred with GlobalComix. I feel like being able to say Webtoon original creator just makes that resume look good. It's like people who say they went to Harvard. Like that's the type of cred that being a Webtoon original has right now. I'm sure some of you want to fight me on this, but I'm just telling you, like, the most random people who you never think would know about Webtoons know about Webtoons. And it's just one of those things where it's like if somebody said, oh, I'm a YouTuber or a TikToker and whatnot. And then if there was like a smaller platform and somebody said, oh, I don't know. I don't know any other platform. So I'm going to say like Vine, because Vine is gone. I'm a Vine creator. People will probably be like, what? I don't know what that is. Like, Webtoons is the recognizable create platform for the general masses currently. So it's just one of those things where being an original does add a lot of credibility. It adds a lot of opportunities for networking, for having a global audience, for being able to have a publisher that is going to turn your comic into a print version. So there are a lot of ups to working with them. So I just want to say this, like, don't underestimate posting on Canvas and don't underestimate working as an original. Like, be strategic about these things. Like, I am not here to say don't work with them. I personally feel like you should work with them if the opportunity arises. But the thing of it is you need to be smart and think beyond just becoming an original and think about what are my next steps after this. All right, so just very briefly, I want to make sure that people are aware that there are publishers of Webtoons that, you know, do make comics in English, do make comics in other languages. And I feel like if you think that your story fits the type of story that they're telling, fits the art style, fits their target audience or readers, whatever you want to call them, research these platforms and start reaching out to them. Like, start hitting them up on their social medias, find out if they have an email, find out if there's a way to submit to them. Because, like, for example, Vero was mentioning about SFW stuff. Lezen is like known for that. Like, I would be hitting them up so fast. And Lezen has, like, all of Lezen's content is basically paid for. So honestly, I feel like depending on the contract, there could be potential to make more money with Lezen than there would be if you were an original. I'm just using that as an example. I don't know the facts behind this. But all of these platforms have different vibes, have different credibility. There's a reason why they're still working as they are, because of what they're offering to their readers. So do not just think, oh, I can't post on that platform, so I'm not gonna do any research for it. No, if you guys fit each other, do research and figure out how you're gonna contact this person. Also, if any of these platforms would like to reach out to me, I would love to add some perspective to these more quieter platforms. All right, so that is actually going to wrap up our discussion. We have been talking for a very long time about a lot of these series. I was not able to cover every series. As you can see, I have tons that are up here on the screen. There was even a few that were mentioned during chat that I did not include, like Lamoon. So also, if you have access to some of these other smaller platforms, like, give them my contact. Like, we would love to have them on the channel for a chat. But long story short, don't close your eyes to any of these opportunities. Like, actually do what you can to make yourself successful. Like, if you want to become a professional, a lot of times it's about that go-getter attitude, to be honest. Like, you miss all the shots you don't take. And I think I'll leave that at that. Like, don't stop shooting. Like, send an email. It takes 5 minutes. Send an email. That could be the email that changes your life. I'm just going to be honest. Like, don't wait for these companies to reach out to you. Reach out to them. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can't lose, to be honest. So here's my question to the community. What is your strategy going forward? How will you publish your webtoon? I'm super curious. Like, and you know, if you don't want to share publicly, you can DM me your strategy. I'm super interested to hear, like, everything that you want to do. There are a lot of other avenues that we did not discuss, such as creating your own website. I just felt like I did not have enough research done to make a video about that. There is the Patreon route. I did an interview with Kaya's Hill about that and how he's making, like, bank. Like, you're making good money. Like, good money just on Patreon. So that's what I'm saying. Like, start thinking of ways to make those blows count. Like, you as a creator work way too hard to just sit and allow your series not to grow and flourish. All right, so I will do a quick Q&A if anybody has any questions, and then we can kind of go from there, because I do have to get back to work and I've been streaming for 75 minutes. So just if anybody had anything directly that they wanted to ask or they wanted to say to me. Rena said, I have seen popular Canvas creators that have very minimal social media presence. So how do they do their marketing? I have seen popular Canvas creators that have very minimal. That's something that I was saying about Canvas. I do think that there is a possibility that you could just get picked up on Canvas. It also depends. Like, there's a number of things that go into marketing. Like, maybe you miss their marketing. Like, maybe they're not posting just on, like, Instagram or Twitter. Like, maybe they're on Reddit. Maybe they made some ads or something and posted them somewhere. Like, there's a lot of things that people can do that you may not see. So I feel like it just depends. Like, you could have somebody who shouted them out that gave them their following. There could be all sorts of stuff. Like, maybe a popular other Webtoon Canvas creator posted them on their story, and all of their following went to that story. Like I've seen, collaborative posts like that before. Like that's what I'm saying. Like there's so many avenues for marketing that it's really hard to just narrow it down to one, in my opinion. You said Webtoons is like a guilty pleasure. Like everyone watches CW, but no one talks about it. Oh my good grief. That's actually a really good example. You? Hi Garnet. Hello. I'm sorry you're late. We're wrapping up the stream, but I'm glad you could pop in for a second. Curie said definitely trying out some of these platforms. Yeah, look into them. Some of them look really, really cool. Subsam Jam said, I wouldn't want to pay on more than 3 sites at a time. That alone feels like an energy draining amount of effort. Pay? Do you mean post? Okay, you do mean post. I wouldn't want to post on more than 3 sites at a time. I think 3 sites is a good amount to post on. Like, and this is the thing. Like, you can post it, wait a couple of months, see if it works, and then if it's not working, post on another site. Like, figure it out. Like I think it's better than just posting on one site with nothing happening. Rena said, marketing sucks. Marketing is okay, in my opinion. Benny said, is there, in your opinion, any merit to taking out paid ads on like Facebook or something? I'm afraid it's a waste of time and money, but I want other options. To be honest, if I feel like you should go the TikTok route, and just make content. I do think paying for an ad strategically is only beneficial if the ad is worthy of you paying for it, if you know what I mean. So like, let's say you create something, you think it's good, you post it, no one engages with it. You create something, you post it, no one engages with it. So like if you're trying to reach more readers, I probably would wait to pay. Like, let's say something goes viral on TikTok, then you know that has like a pretty decent fan base reach sort of thing. So then I would possibly invest in doing an ad, like a paid promotion on Instagram. Like I would repost it on Instagram and then be like, okay, this one got 4 million views on TikTok. So let's go ahead and boost it from the very beginning and post it on Instagram. Let's go ahead and boost it and, with Facebook. Like that would be the route I would take. Like I would use one of the platforms as kind of a testing hub, see how well the content does, if readers are engaging with it, like, and it doesn't have to go viral. I'm just saying, like, if you're getting a lot of comments on it or a lot of people engaging with it, then you can be like, this would be worth me paying money for. Because there's a creator, if you guys don't know, When the Silent Bird Sings, they're killing it with their marketing strategy, posting on TikTok, posting on Instagram. Like, they pretty much had no social media presence before the contest. Now I think they're almost to like 9,000 subs on Webtoons, over 100K views on Webtoons. They've had a few viral TikToks. They've had like a few viral Instagram posts. Like, so that, and they've paid for nothing. So it's one of those things where I'm like, that creator loves marketing. And when I've talked to them, I'm just like, oh my God, like, you are like a genius. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is insane. And a lot of it's just second nature to them. And a lot of it is like understanding what readers want versus what creators want versus what's personal to you. And so like they focus a lot on, the reader experience with what they post. And so that has really helped them. Like in 3 months, they're almost at 10,000 followers on Webtoons. There are people that have been posting on Webtoons for like 5 years and have less than 1,000 subs. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, you just kind of have to be strategic about how you approach a lot of this stuff. Shia said, where would you recommend marketing the most? Like TikTok, Instagram, etc. I would say market where you understand the audience. So if you engage the most on Instagram, post there. So Olivia Coate, the creator of Hungarian, I did a round table with her and a few other people about social media, and she talks a lot about how she knows Instagram. She understands Instagram. So she posts on Instagram because she knows how to reach people on Instagram. She doesn't post on TikTok. She doesn't post anywhere else. And that's where she built a majority of her following. When the Silent Bird creator, I don't know if they have a preference or not, but from what I understand, they were posting on TikTok specifically. They post on everything, but I think they understand TikTok the most. So that's where they put a lot of their efforts into posting, from what I understand, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that. But basically what I'm saying is, market on the platform that you understand the most and you engage with the most, and consider the reader experience over creator. Like, a lot of this is going to involve a lot of forethought. Like, think about the platform that you do the most doom scrolling on. Whiskey Gun said, I posted on a few now, and the hardest part is resizing my pages multiple times. Yeah, that can be really annoying. Benny said, I don't use TikTok. I guess I'll have to start. You don't have to use TikTok. That's what I was saying. Like, use the platform that you enjoy. Like, Olivia Coate loves Instagram, uses Instagram, blew up on Instagram. So just focus on what you post the most on. Like Kayez, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, really liked Twitter and posted a lot on Twitter. They blew up on Twitter, and that's what kind of got them to where their Patreon is. So a lot of it's all about you and how you post. Starlight said, okay, you're talking about something specific. Andy said, man, I don't want to get TikTok because there's a large young audience on there, and then I'd get yelled at for having mature content with a young audience. I mean, there's a lot of spicy content on there anyway, Andy. I don't know what to tell you. Like, real life spicy content creators to not real life to animated spicy content. So I guess it just depends on what you want to do, Andy. Whiskey said, TikTok is dangerous. You have to use it for at least a week before it shares your content. Now I'm addicted to Pop Mart Lives. Oh my good grief. I don't even know what that is. I'm afraid to ask. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video so I can get back to like actually doing my job. So my creator shout out goes to Written in Gunpowder. You can pause the screen, take a screenshot, check it out, but I found this to be really interesting. It is a drama and historical. So that's pretty cool, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty excited to read more of this series. I really like the character designs. Very cool. So definitely check it out and support the creator. They're actually in the Webtoon Canvas, the Webtoon 2025 contest, and they made the short list. So definitely check them out. Give them all the support. There is a link in the description down below. All right, and thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. Thank you so much. And guys, look at this insane fan art. Like, I'm sorry, I was blown away when I got it. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. This is my ideal dream body. This is what I want to make my own reality. This is happening. Like, obsessed. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It will probably be in the next like 10 videos. Like, this is goals right here. Like, this is why I go to the gym every day. Like, this is why this is my aspirations in life. I'm printing this out and putting it in my locker at the gym. Like, that is how inspiring this is to me. Thank you so much to the amazing, wonderful creator who made this for me. It's probably one of my favorite fan arts that I've received in a long time. I love all of them, but I'm just like, the body is bodying in this one. Like, it's pure perfection here, like, hands down. Mr. Who said, is it strange to make 2 webtoons at once? No, not at all. Make 2 webtoons if you want to. Also, I'm just going to say to all of my wonderful patrons, a lot of things will be happening on Patreon. I'm planning to do a video this week. We're going to just chill. We're probably going to do a Queen's Game character design video sort of thing. So we're just gonna hang out and have a good time. So I'm very, 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 very excited to have some more chill streams with my patrons. All right, well, thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you all in the next video.